The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Wonders they say shall never cease to happen. This time round, it is happening in the United States of America. It is about Epic Fury and Operation True Promise 4. When this thing started, in no time they told us that it was an hour strike. Everything is over. The United States of America has won. And it's only the United States of America that can carry this kind of attacks on other nations because they have the most powerful navy. Finally, they said there's nothing left in Iran to strike because their tankers, their drones, they've run out of everything for them to use to defend themselves. In a recent video, Oga was saying that they are now badly in need of help for ceasefire. So they are reaching out to the United States of America for a ceasefire. And Iran Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has come out to debunk it. He firmly rejects any claims from Donald Trump that Iran or Tehran is looking for a ceasefire. They said what they call ceasefire, they don't have it in their dictionary. According to them, quote, war will continue until nobody knows the other ingredients that are there. Because according to them, they are not ready to back down. And they have certain things that they have put across because they don't want any nation from the West or any nation in the world to ever dream of attacking Iran. And that is the reason to which they said, before this war will end, it will be on the terms of Iran, not the United States of America. Like, Oga came out and told the world that everything is gone. They will end it. Ceasefire. Iran said it is left unto them to decide how the war will end and not the United States of America. US, even though started the war, but they don't have the power to decide when this war will end. But other people are saying that he's just looking for an easy way out. And the whole world, people are saying that it's like Oga didn't have a clear mission. Because today he will say that he attacked these people because they were buying their people. Then he will come back and tell us that they were thinking about nuke. Then the next day he will say this. Like every blessed day and what Oga comes out to tell the world. So now even his people are not happy. To the point that according to the current report, the counter-terrorism chief has also resigned over Iran's war because according to him, Iran doesn't pose any imminent threat to anybody. So he don't see the reason to which they should keep attacking a nation that is innocent.
Iran is not interested in negotiating with Trump or the U.S. regime. Iran is going to punish the United States. This regime in Washington has tried to cross a bridge that's a bridge too far. And they're messing with the wrong country. We're not Venezuela. This is the Islamic Republic of Iran. And we will make sure that the United States regrets the aggression against the Iranian people and the slaughter of children and the slaughter of innocent civilians and the murder of the leader. And they will come to regret it. Iran will defeat the United States. Iranians have been planning for this day ever since the invasion of Iraq. They knew that at some point the Epstein regime will go after Iranians. And therefore they've been preparing themselves for many years. And now the United States will have to pay the price. For the United States, this is a war of choice. A choice that has been imposed upon the American people by the Epstein class. We will expel the United States from our homeland, and we will make sure that the United States never again thinks about aggression against our country.
Evening to you, sir.
Well, good evening to you. Thank you for having me for the second time.
Yes, and they are extraordinary times. Minister, President Trump said this weekend he is not ready to make a deal with Iran because the terms aren't good enough yet. His administration is saying this war could last another 3.5 weeks or so. Has Iran asked for a ceasefire?
No, we never asked for a ceasefire, and we have never asked even for negotiation. We are ready to defend ourselves as long as it takes, and this is what we have done so far, and we continue to do that until President Trump comes to the point that this is an illegal war with no victory and, there are, people being killed only because President Trump wants to have fun. This is what he has said.
Have fun?
We are not. Yes, this is what he said, that they are sinking, ships and targeting different places because it is fun. And the Secretary of War has said that there is no mercy. And this is actually a war crime. Even saying that is a war crime. So this is a war. This is a war of choice by President Trump and the United States, and we are going to continue our self-defense.
Well, that may be your position, but sir, this is a war of survival for your government. Minister, don't you have to negotiate and reach out either directly or through a third party?
No, it's not a war of survival. We are stable and strong enough. We are only defending our people from this act of aggression, and we don't see any reason why we should talk with Americans, because we were talking with them when they decided to attack us, and that was for the second time. There is no good experience talking with Americans. We were talking, so why they decided to attack us? So what is good if we go back to talk once again?
Well, I want to come back to that in just a moment. You're referring to the diplomacy with President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and his envoy, Steve Witkoff. But just to continue on this, Iran is sending its drones and its missiles into your neighboring countries, American allies throughout the Gulf. Before the war, your government traded with them. You had relations with them. If your government survives this conflict, how do you go back to doing business with countries you're sending drones into and hitting civilian targets?
Well, obviously, these are the countries who have given their soil to American forces to attack us. So what can we do? We just sit and watch that American forces are attacking us from their soil, and
but your drones are going into civilian areas and hitting plants and hotels and civilians.
No, this is not the fact. We are only targeting American assets, American installations, American military bases. Everything belongs to Americans. And this is a fact that they are using their soil. There are many examples. Just yesterday, they, attacked our islands using HIMARS artillery rockets, which are low-range, rockets, and they used the territory of UAE to attack us. A week ago, 3 F-15 jet fighters were shot down, apparently by a friendly fire in Kuwait, but nobody asked what they were doing in Kuwait. They were using Kuwait and, airspace of a neighborly, a friendly country to attack us. So it is obvious we cannot just, remain,
right. Well, so many of these countries are part of CENTCOM, but this is the point, is that it's going to hurt your country in the long term. But when we talk about the Strait of Hormuz, which is such an important transit point for global trade, you have said it is closed to Israel and it's closed to the United States. The Financial Times is reporting that European diplomats from France and Italy are talking to your government about trying to get safe passage for their ships. Are you open to restarting oil and gas vessels going through there?
Well, we are open to countries who want to talk to us about the safe passage of their vessels.
You are negotiating with France and Italy?
Well, I cannot mention any country in particular, but we have been approached by a number of countries who wants to have a safe passage for their vessels, and this is up to our military to decide. And they have already decided to let a group of vessels belongs to different countries to pass in a safe and secure. So we provide them security to pass, because we have not closed this strait. They are not coming themselves because of the insecurity which is there because of the aggression by the U.S.
I want to ask you again about the negotiations. Iran has declared it has 440 kilos or so of nuclear material. Where is that material now? Who has custody of it?
Well, we have not declared. This is verified and declared by the agency.
This
is not a secret. This is not a secret, you know. The agency have said in his many reports the exact amount of our enriched, nuclear material.
Yes. So where is it now? Who has custody of it?
So they are under the rebels. You know, our nuclear facilities were attacked, and everything is under the rebels. Of course, there is the possibility to retreat them, but under the supervision of the agency. If one day we come to the conclusion to do that, it would be under the supervision of the agency. But for the time being, we have no program, we have no plan to recover them from under the rebels.
Trump called Putin in order to get Putin's help to bring the war to an end. Trump is now looking for an off-ramp. The Russians have given us this briefing from Ushakov, who is Putin's foreign policy aide. And the very interesting thing, the thing that immediately struck me, is that firstly, they announced that it was Trump who called Putin. The Russians have made absolutely clear what they think about the US-Israeli attack on Iran. They've described it as aggression, a straightforward aggression. They have said that they are not neutrals in this conflict, that they are on Iran's side. We've had Lavrov scolding Arab foreign representatives in Moscow who came to Moscow trying to get Russia's help to find a way to end the conflict. He's saying you're putting all the blame on Iran, but it wasn't Iran that initiated this. It was Iran that was attacked. The Russians have made it absolutely clear that they think it was absolutely cynical and immoral. These were Putin's words, to assassinate Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, in the way that was done. And the Russians have also made it very clear that the launching of an attack on Iran in the middle of negotiations, both over the course of this war and over the course of the war that took place in June, was completely and utterly and completely wrong.
So the United States of America must always be projected as in the world, you understand? But Iran is saying that as for this war, it is not left unto the United States of America to decide when it will end, even though they began it. But it will only end on their own terms. We saw the part that he has even said he was calling, that was the weekend, he was calling on the allies of the United States of America to come together so that they can open the Strait of Hormuz. Before then, when Iran decided that they were going to close it and no ship will be allowed to pass, we heard this man say that it will not happen, that U.S. Navy will escort tankers, only for us to see that no tanker was escorted, to the point that people were posting on their X and they have to finally delete the post. You saw the video, right? So when things became difficult, he now called on allies, and now allies too are not ready to be part of this war. And Oga is now on a different mission again, that Tehran is looking for a ceasefire, desperately looking for a ceasefire, and they said, as for this one. And this war, according to them, there's nothing like ceasefire. They are not ready for any negotiation with the United States of America because they gave him the chance. They were in the negotiation process where the United States of America decided to strike them. So for that matter, there will not be anything called a ceasefire. And the butu-butu. See the way these people are still doing they are not knowing peace. Targeting everything, US bases and everything are on fire. The Gulf states, there is no peace in the Middle East. So, now we are waiting to see how things will unfold, and people are projecting that the war will go on for a long time because Iran is bent on making sure that they put some people somewhere. This is the main motive to which they don't want to end this war, so that in the nearby future, they will still be receiving such attacks. So they want to just do it once and for all, winner declared, and then everything ends. Africa, we are watching. I hope we also build ourselves like Iran is doing. We will not continue to be watching, because under 40 years of sanction, Iran built to the point that Oga is not even knowing peace. And we sat here and we're discussing everything on our TV stations, doing nothing. And Iran has reached this point, to the point that even the world power, the world superpowers are now afraid of the country Iran. And we are still talking. I hope we'll not continue to be talking. Our leaders will not see this to be the time that the African also needs to empower himself. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we'll make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Middle East, and in Iran.